Good morning, afternoon, everyone. I want to start with a simple question. When was the last time you felt truly understood at work? Not heard, not seen, but understood. We live in a world that praises performance, output, and efficiency, but often overlooks the human being behind the results. And yet, the best leaders, the ones we remember, the ones who inspire us, aren't the ones with the loudest voices or the biggest titles. They're the ones who lead with empathy. Because leadership isn't about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in our charge. And that begins with empathy. Today, I want to explore how empathy isn't a soft skill. It's a human skill. One that builds trust, strengthens teams, and unlocks potential. And more importantly, how every one of us has the capacity to lead with empathy, no matter our role or title. Empathy builds trust, and trust builds teams. Builds teams. It's a principle that sits at the core of human connection, yet it's often overlooked in leadership. In today's fast-paced, results-driven environments, many leaders focus on metrics, deadlines, and performance indicators. But the truth is, without trust, none of that truly works in the long term. And empathy is the foundation of that trust. Empathy means understanding the feelings, thoughts, and perspectives of others. It's not about fixing someone's problems or having all the answers. It's about being present, listening without judgment, and showing others that they are seen and valued. When a leader takes time to understand what someone is going through, when they pause to listen instead of react, something powerful happens. The walls come down, and trust begins to take root. People don't trust leaders because they're competent. They trust leaders because they feel safe with them. And safety comes from knowing that your leader sees you not just as an employee, but as a human being. This is where empathy becomes more than a buzzword. It becomes a practice, a habit, a way of showing up every day. Think of the leaders you've admired most in your life. Chances are they weren't the ones with the most power or authority. They were probably the ones who made you feel understood. The ones who remembered your name, who asked how you were really doing, who noticed when something felt off. Those moments, small as they may seem, are where trust is built. When leaders lead with empathy, they create environments where people feel safe enough to speak up, to take risks, to admit mistakes, and to be themselves. This psychological safety is not a luxury. It's a requirement for innovation, collaboration, and growth. Without it, people retreat. They play it safe. They do the bare minimum. But when they trust their leaders, they go above and beyond, not out of obligation, but out of belief. Trust doesn't happen overnight. It's built in conversations, in meetings, in the hallways, and in the quiet moments when no one is watching. It's built when a leader notices someone struggling and checks in. It's built when someone shares a concern and isn't punished for it. It's built when leaders say, "I don't know," or "I made a mistake," and show that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's honesty. Empathy isn't just about emotions, it's about awareness. It's noticing the person who's been quieter than usual. It's asking thoughtful questions. It's choosing curiosity over assumption. And when a leader consistently shows that kind of care, trust grows. Teams begin to communicate more openly. People start showing up more fully. The walls that once existed between departments, between roles, between people start to disappear. Now some might say, "Oh, we don't have time for empathy," especially when the pressure is on, when deadlines are looming, when the stakes are high. But that's exactly when empathy is needed most. Because in times of stress, people are more vulnerable, more reactive, more uncertain. And it's during those times that a leader's empathy becomes the glue that holds the team together. Empathy is not about being soft or letting people off the hook. In fact, it often means having the courage to address difficult issues with compassion. It means giving honest feedback in a way that respects the person and preserves their dignity. It means holding people accountable while still honoring their humanity. That balance between challenge and care is where true leadership lives. We talk a lot about high-performing teams, but performance doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens when people trust each other, when they trust their leader, when they know that they can bring their full selves to work and be met with respect. And that kind of culture doesn't come from policies or mission statements. It comes from people, from leaders who choose empathy. Empathy is a skill. It can be learned, it can be practiced. And it starts with listening. Not listening to reply, but listening to understand. Noticing the unspoken. Being present. And doing it consistently, not just when it's convenient. Every time a leader chooses empathy, they are investing in trust. And every time they invest in trust, they are building a stronger, more connected, more resilient team. Leaders who listen create cultures where people thrive. Listening in its purest form is one of the most undervalued leadership skills. Too often, leaders focus on giving orders, making decisions, or speaking over others. But the true strength of leadership lies in the ability to listen. Listening is more than just hearing words. It's about understanding context, emotions, and needs. It's about connecting on a deeper level with those you lead and creating a sense of safety and inclusion. When leaders listen, they show their teams that their voices matter. They communicate that everyone has a role in the conversation, that everyone's perspective is valuable. This act of listening has a profound impact on team dynamics. It fosters an environment of trust and mutual respect, where people feel that their contributions are not only acknowledged but appreciated. In such an environment, people are more likely to take risks, share ideas, and engage in problem solving because they know that their input is genuinely sought after. Effective listening also helps leaders make better decisions and to engage in problem. When leaders take the time to listen to different viewpoints, to understand the nuances of a situation, they are better equipped to address challenges and create solutions that benefit everyone. Listening gives leaders access to a broader range of ideas and perspectives, which leads to more innovative and well-rounded decisions. The best leaders don't have all the answers themselves. They create opportunities for others to contribute, recognizing that collective wisdom is far more powerful than individual expertise. Furthermore, listening allows leaders to understand the needs of their teams on a deeper level. And so, when a leader listens attentively, they pick up on the subtle cues, things that aren't always said but are felt. These can be the signs of burnout, dissatisfaction, or even excitement and motivation. Leaders who listen actively are attuned to these emotions, and they can respond proactively, whether by offering support, adjusting workloads, or providing opportunities for growth. In contrast, leaders who don't listen run the risk of missing these important signals, which can lead to disengagement, frustration, and a lack of productivity. Listening also fosters a culture of empathy within the organization. When leaders make an effort to understand the perspectives and experiences of others, they set the tone for how others interact with each other. Empathetic listening encourages open communication and emotional intelligence among team members. This, in turn, strengthens relationships and reduces the likelihood of misunderstandings, conflicts, or feelings of isolation. People thrive when they feel connected to one another and to their leader, and listening is the key to creating those connections. But listening is not just about being passive. It requires active engagement. It's easy to hear words, but it takes effort to truly listen and respond thoughtfully. It requires patience, presence, and a willingness to put aside one's own thoughts and judgments. Leaders who are genuinely engaged in listening show their teams that they are valued and that their input is necessary for success. This creates an environment where people are motivated to contribute, where collaboration thrives, and where creativity and innovation can flourish. The power of listening also extends beyond just conversations between leaders and their direct reports. When leaders listen to the broader organization, they gain insights into the culture, values, and challenges faced by different teams. This helps them make more informed decisions and implement strategies that resonate with the wider organization. Listening at all levels helps leaders gain a holistic understanding of the needs of the business and its people. It allows them to be more adaptable and responsive to change. Moreover, listening strengthens the emotional connection between a leader and their team. Leaders who listen actively demonstrate that they care about the well-being and success of their people. This emotional investment is critical to building loyalty and commitment. When people feel that their leader is genuinely interested in their thoughts and concerns, they are more likely to feel a sense of responsibility toward the team's goals and mission. Unfortunately, not all leaders are natural listeners. It's a skill that must be cultivated, and it requires a conscious effort to set aside distractions, be present in the moment, and fully engage with the person speaking. Active listening involves asking thoughtful questions, reflecting back what you've heard, and ensuring that you understand the message being conveyed. It's an ongoing process of honing your ability to be present, patient, and open-minded. Leaders who invest in developing this skill create a culture of transparency, trust, and collaboration. The result of this kind of leadership is a culture where people thrive. People feel safe, respected, and valued, and they are motivated to contribute their best work. Teams are more cohesive and better equipped to handle challenges because they are united by a sense of shared purpose and mutual respect. Communication flows freely, and people work together toward common goals. When leaders listen, they lay the foundation for a positive, high-performing organizational culture. This idea challenges the common misconception that empathy is soft or unproductive. In reality, empathy is one of the most powerful tools a leader can possess, and it has a profound impact on team dynamics, organizational culture, and long-term success. It's easy to assume that effective leadership is all about making tough decisions, being assertive, or showing resilience in difficult times. While those traits are important, they are incomplete without empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, to step into their shoes and see the world from their perspective. And it's this very capacity that allows leaders to inspire loyalty, motivate action, and foster collaboration in ways that are not only human but highly effective. When leaders demonstrate empathy, they create an environment where people feel safe, valued, and understood. This emotional safety is critical for building trust within a team. Trust, in turn, enables people to take risks, express their ideas freely, and engage in problem-solving without fear of judgment or retribution. Empathy allows leaders to communicate a fundamental message: you matter. It's a message that resonates deeply with employees, making them more committed to their work and more invested in the organization's success. What's powerful about empathy is that it connects people on a deeper level. It's not about sympathy or feeling sorry for someone. It's about recognizing their struggles, frustrations, or aspirations and validating their emotions. Leaders who show empathy are more likely to understand the challenges their teams face. They know when people are stressed, overworked, or burned out, and they know how to respond in ways that demonstrate care and understanding. By acknowledging these feelings, leaders help mitigate the negative effects of stress, prevent burnout, and create an atmosphere of support rather than one of pressure. The ability to empathize also makes leaders better communicators. When a leader listens with empathy, they are better able to address concerns and give feedback in ways that resonate with the individual. Rather than simply issuing directives or critiques, they can frame their message in a way that shows understanding and offers a path forward. This is particularly crucial when dealing with sensitive issues, whether it's performance concerns, personal challenges, or conflicts within the team. Empathetic leaders approach these situations with a sense of compassion and a desire to help their team members grow, rather than a focus on punishment or blame. This approach not only strengthens relationships, but also creates a culture where people feel supported in their professional development. Another aspect of empathy as a strategic strength is its role in conflict resolution. Every team encounters conflict at some point, whether it's differences in opinion, work styles, or values. Without empathy, conflicts can escalate quickly, causing division and diminishing productivity. But when leaders approach conflict with empathy, they can de-escalate tensions by helping each party understand the other's perspective. Empathetic leaders don't take sides. Instead, they create space for open dialogue and facilitate solutions that consider the needs and concerns of everyone involved. This approach not only resolves conflicts more effectively, but also strengthens the team's sense of cohesion and mutual respect. Moreover, empathy plays a vital role in leadership development. Leaders who exhibit empathy are more likely to inspire others to adopt similar behaviors. This creates a ripple effect throughout the organization, where employees not only feel cared for, but also begin to treat each other with more understanding and respect. The emotional intelligence that comes with empathy enables leaders to mentor and coach their teams in ways that foster growth, resilience, and emotional maturity. By modeling empathetic behavior, leaders create a culture where empathy becomes ingrained in the organization's values and interactions. This culture becomes a powerful competitive advantage in a world where collaboration and interpersonal relationships are increasingly essential to success. Empathy is also an essential tool for fostering innovation. When leaders are empathetic, they are more likely to listen to the diverse perspectives and ideas that emerge from their teams. This openness creates a climate of creativity where people feel comfortable sharing new ideas and challenging the status quo. In turn, this leads to innovative solutions and more effective problem solving. Empathetic leaders understand that the best ideas often come from unexpected places, and that everyone's voice has the potential to contribute to the greater good. By creating an environment where all team members feel heard and valued, leaders encourage the free flow of ideas that drive innovation. Empathy, however, is not about being lenient or avoiding difficult decisions. It's about understanding the human impact of those decisions and weighing them with care. Empathetic leaders are still capable of making tough calls when necessary, but they do so with a keen awareness of how those decisions will affect their people. They communicate those decisions with transparency, compassion, and an understanding of the emotions involved. This kind of leadership allows organizations to navigate challenges and change more effectively, as people are more likely to rally around leaders who they believe genuinely have their best interests at heart. What makes empathy a strategic strength is its ability to influence both the emotional and rational aspects of leadership. It creates stronger connections, fosters collaboration, drives innovation, and enhances decision-making. Leaders who lead with empathy are not only more effective in their roles, but also build organizations that are more resilient, compassionate, and adaptable. Empathy enables leaders to connect with their teams on a human level, inspiring loyalty, trust, and engagement. It's not a weakness or a soft skill, it's the very essence of what makes great leaders exceptional.